All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Big Dog Brett. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the season. I think we're around 4625 or something right now. So not a whole lot, not a whole lot of ground we have to cover, but definitely need you guys' help with that. Just so you know, in case you're not watching this currently live, this is also being simulcast to the Voice of College Football Georgia channel and the Voice of College Football SEC channel. So go and search for Mark Rogers TV. You'll be able to find him in doing so. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Post videos every single day, seems like 2 and 3 times a day. Super knowledgeable channel. Gets your knowledge up on just college football in general. I predominantly focus on Georgia and SEC football, but Mark Rogers covers the entire gambit. So go check him out. I'm sure you guys will enjoy what he has to offer. All right, so what's going on, Nick Thompson, Gil Lanston, Eric Wallace, Bulldog JC, how you doing? Crimson Brave says back-to-back SEC champs and Heisman winners, hashtag down year. It would certainly seem so. Michael Porter, what are you doing, sir? One of our resident members. Really appreciate you guys joining this show. All right, let's clear out some of this stuff. Like I said, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Do all you can, help the channel and whatnot. What's going on, Zephyr Roth? He says, how's it going, Brett? Just going to say we better not have any quarterback problems for the next 10 or so years after this season. Yes, that would be nice. Doug Caswell says, Caswell or Caswell, I'm not sure how you say your name, sir, but it's tough to know by reading it. It says, go Dogs, buddy. Appreciate it. Michael Porter says, thumbs up, everybody. That is a great idea. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Michael Porter, great guy. Appreciate that, sir. Shadow says, what's up, Brett? Looks like Texas A&M might have finished infinite amounts of McDonald bag money today. Go Dogs. So we're certainly going to get into it. I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes to jump into it. It's been a super busy day for me. And we're not done yet. So, yeah. As you guys know, Christmas season's coming up. If you guys want to support the channel, you can use Super Chat, you can hit PayPal, you can subscribe to the channel, you can become a member, you can share, you can just give us a thumbs up. All of those things help the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. It's one of the things that keeps the channel going. Just as a reminder, we will be continuing content throughout the off season, so you're going to continue to see me. We're not going to shut the channel down. There's lots of stuff that's still going on. We're going to be doing bowl predictions here pretty soon. We're going to be looking at teams and the schedule, who's going to be playing on what day. We're going to go over some of that tonight. We're also going to be going over the college football recruiting rankings as they currently sit. Keep in mind there is still time to flip players. Skip Bayless. That is an interesting comment, sir. But there's still another signing day, right? Yes, that'll be in February, and the rankings could change yet again. As we have saw in recent years, it seems like Kirby Smart does a very fine job of flipping players. Not to mention what he could pull from the transfer portal. There's certainly plenty of other recruits that can be gathered from the transfer portal. So I think this year the number is 25 plus 7. So Georgia could sign as many as 32 commits this year. So interesting to see how that's going to happen. When's it all over, big dog? I don't know. It never ends. We're going to keep it going. What's up, James Willoughby? What's up, Rhino26? My dude. What's up, Rhino? OU Yardbird. Golly, what a great name. OU did better than I thought they would. We're going to go over all of the rankings, guys. Don't worry. 1 through 3 is splitting hairs. Absolutely, they are. But let's go ahead and jump into it. We're about 5 minutes in. We're about 30 people deep, so we'll go ahead and jump into it. Currently, as it sits right now, Texas A&M is at 26 commits, Alabama at 24, Georgia at 26. Texas A&M somehow is in first place. Looks like Georgia signed more 3-stars than they did 4-stars, so that's kind of hurting them in a way. But it looks like Georgia was trying to fill in some gaps. So we're going to go through the Georgia prospects for sure. We're going to go through Texas A&M's commits and Alabama's commits. Currently, as it says, Texas A&M number 1, Alabama number 2, Georgia number 3. Texas A&M sitting at 4 stars. 4 5-stars. 19 4-stars, 3 3-stars with an average rating of 94.24. And I don't know exactly how they get this number down here on the end. I'm sure they take like the top 3 guys and they add them together and whatever. If you do that, they're at 321. Alabama's at 317. Georgia's at 311. After that, nobody even cracks 300. So there is a gap here. Now, I'm going to point out the number of – we're not going to talk about 4 stars too much because there's just too many of them. So we're going to focus on the 5 stars, and we're going to talk about some 4 stars that really could be considered 5 stars. Shane M, appreciate the super chat, sir. He says, Merry Christmas. Thanks for the content this year. I appreciate the support, sir. Super chats like that is one of the things that definitely keeps the channel going. So, yes, sir. Hey, Porter. Hey, Pastor Eric Wallace. How you doing, sir? Texas P&M. Let's see what he says here. Texas P&M, or is that the Shorthorns now? I don't know where Bo Nix is going right yet. I would guess he's going to go to another SEC school. If I was him, that's what I would do. Or who knows? He may end up at a school that loses a primetime quarterback. We'll see what happens. I haven't really had an opportunity to look just yet. So first things first, let's go over the recruiting rankings a little bit more in depth. I'm going to go through the top 10 here real quick. A&M, Alabama. That's the A with the mullet, in case you didn't know. Don't mix it up with the Atlanta Braves A. It doesn't have a mullet. So easy way to tell. Georgia at number 3, Ohio State number 4, Texas Shorthorns, as one of our resident members here just said, is at number 5. Penn State, believe it or not, comes in at number 6. Notre Dame at number 7. North Carolina comes in at number 8 with 2 5 stars and 9 4 stars. Considering where this program was a couple of years ago, this is pretty impressive in my opinion. Michigan 9. Oklahoma squeaks in at 10. 0 5 stars this year, but 12 4 stars. And there's some of those 4 stars that could easily have been 5 stars. Sometimes I think they've sliced that line a little too close, but that's just me. Kentucky 11. Missouri 12. Tennessee 13. Auburn 14. And Stanford 15. So let's look at the number of SEC teams in the top ranking here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in the top 15. So half of the field. And of course, the top 3 are all SEC teams. So, and pretty soon it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of the top 15 if you were to count OU and Texas if they were already listed in the SEC. What's up, D4 Sports? How you doing, sir? Somebody says Bo Nix to NIU. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get into that. Could I post my PayPal link? If you look right here in the bottom of the banners that scrolls by, it will read something like this: www.paypal.com/. I have to wait because I can never remember it either. Neon Dion, man, he pulled a miracle out of his hat, didn't he? I got a lot of questions about that. Because I really don't know exactly. That should be the link right there. There we go. Somebody got it in there for me. Appreciate that. And if you're watching this on the Georgia football Voice of College Football and the SEC Voice of College Football, I'm not going to ask you guys to contribute. This is just for the people that are subscribers to my channel. Please support Mark Rogers TV on his channel. So, but yeah. So let me look here. Did you beat me to it? Elijah just transferred to Bama. Elias? I'm not sure how you say that. But looking at the top teams here, the SEC is clearly ruling the field. I mean, it just there's no comparison right now. The SEC is absolutely killing it in recruiting, which is normal. Yeah. So yeah. JT Daniels in the transfer portal. He might. That's something else we're going to talk about tonight. Is the transfer portal. It has quite a bit of talent in it. I don't know if you guys have looked at it lately, but the transfer portal. There we go. Jeez. Want to transfer? Check out the transfer portal. There is a ton of people in there, and pretty much everybody gets a free pass. As to if you want to transfer, everybody is pretty much getting immediate eligibility. So yeah, there's that. So feel free to go check out the transfer portal. Yep. So right now, ESPN has a transfer portal tracker, the top players. Obviously, Bo Nix is in there, but if you want to continue to read that, you gotta subscribe to their stuff or whatever that is. But for me, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Anyway, let me go back to this. Sorry, I'm opening a few different tabs here. So Texas A&M has four 5 stars. Alabama has 3 5 stars. Georgia has 5 5 stars. This is important. This is significant, and I'm going to point out why. These 3 teams have taken up 12 5 stars. And if you add up the next teams after that, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in the first 3 classes is 12 5 stars. You have to go all the way to 17th, every team between 4th and 17th, in order to get 12 more 5 stars. That should tell you the talent disparage. And inside of this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to go 4 solid. Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, and Notre Dame combined have as many 5 stars as Georgia. Then after that, inside of the top, we'll just do probably like the top 25 here. Top 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams inside the top 25 has 0 5 stars. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8 more only have 1 5-star. So that should tell you how rare 5-star players are. And for Georgia and Alabama and Texas A&M to get multiple 5 stars is really a testament to the quality of these programs we're putting out. Really a testament to just absolutely incredible recruiting effort here. Let's see. Let me get caught up on the chat here. The SEC is the best conference and has been for years. That doesn't mean nobody else has a chance, though. That is true. Let's see. Rhino says hit like, sub, thumbs up, all that stuff. That's right, sir. Deion Sanders got a good one, though. He did, man, but I got a lot of questions, man. The Jackson State, I think that was the school he went to. I'm not sure that the way that young man went about doing what he did, while funny, is going to help him very much in the long run. It was fun to watch, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that's the route I would have went. I don't know that's the route that I would have went. Let's see. All right, let me see if I can pull up a list. In 24/7 Sports has a list of college football players that are eligible for transfer. A lot of 3-star players. I thought I was looking at something earlier. It was like a lot of 5-star players. Where's this at? Not looking at school. Not looking at position. All these are immediate. There's some guys out here that could really make a difference, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but it could be really interesting. All right. What's up, Chiquita? What's up, Keith Shelley? How you doing? Keith Shelley says Jackson State University Tigers. Is that even a Power 5 school? The kid that transferred from LSU was a 5-star. I think so, but I'm not 100% certain. Let's see. I'm trying to find that. So here's what I do want to go through real quick. Let's go through. Let me open up Texas A&M, their commits, Alabama's commits, and Georgia's commits. 26, 24, and 26, respectively. Walter Nolan was pretty much the one that really drove it home for them. The top 3 players they signed, they got a 5-star quarterback. Obviously, Georgia's stacked with 5-star quarterbacks, so no need to really look for Connor Wigman here. Got 6'2", 208. He's already built like an NFL player. Number 2 in position, number 19th nationally, number 7 in the state. Texas A&M has really turned a corner over there, and they're doing a great job in recruiting, and it's showing right here. In their top 5 players, 3 of them are number 1 in the state, and another one is 7th in the state. Tennessee, Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, and Arizona are the states I'm talking about. All these players have huge size, anywhere from 6'2" to 6'5". The top 3 players they got, defensive lineman, quarterback. So there's going to be an emphasis for Texas A&M for defense, and I'm going to point it out to you right now. So they got 1, 2, 5-star defensive lineman, another 4-star defensive lineman, another 4-star defensive lineman, a 4-star inside linebacker, 2 4-star cornerbacks, another 4-star linebacker, a 4-star safety, another 4-star linebacker. So you can see that they are really focusing on the defensive aspect of this. Of course, picking up a 5-star quarterback is always helpful, but Texas A&M still has a lot of holes they have to fill in. It's going to take them a few more years of recruiting like this. Last year they were at number 4, so still not bad. But they still it's going to take a few more years for them to really kind of be able to get into the mix here. If you go back to 2019, they were ranked number 3. The year before, they were ranked number 6. But if we go back to like 2015, I still had a good year back then. My mistake. I misread the stat I read earlier. So excuse me, Aggies fans. I'm not perfect, but I'll own it when I make a mistake. So obviously Texas A&M doing a great job right now. It's going to be really interesting to see what they are going to come up with later. Now, Alabama signs a 5-star, number 2 in the state, number 3 at position, number 24 nationally, Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson, 6'2", 185 quarterback. You know, they're really going to be looking to fill him in here sooner rather than later. I think he's the next best talent you're going to see on their team. Jeremiah Alexander, an edge guy, 5-star. And then Emmanuel Henderson, a running back, which is unusual in my opinion to see a 5-star running back. Number 1 at position, number 2 in the state out of Alabama at 6'1". The guy's a monster. 6'1", 185. He'll probably put on a little bit of weight, but not much. He's probably going to be a bruiser. You're not going to look for this guy to be super agile. Oh, what's going on, Keith? Appreciate it, sir. Jay Shipes, what's up, BDB? Eli Ricks transferring to Bama. Well, stuff happens, man. Roll Tide to Texas A&M is slated per 24/7 to be in the mix for some other 5-stars. We'll see what happens, man. Let's see. Sent you a question on PayPal. Let me see. Let me see. It's not showing up here. Let me see if I can refresh it. I was checking it every few minutes. I'm sorry I missed that. It's being weird. Stand by. PayPal. Refresh. There it goes. John Howell, thanks for hitting the PayPal link, sir. He said, what do I think of the Hunter commitment ceremony? Are you talking about the one where they went like 8 people went around the room? Everybody had a question. Everybody had a whole litany of conversation that they wanted to have. I don't know, dude. I think that was way too much. Way too much. If that's the one if that's the same one we're talking about, I mean, just get it over with, dude. Rip the Band-Aid off, get on with it. I don't know why both coaches had to talk and administrator had to talk. Just kind of a what are we still sitting here talking to all you people for? Grayman said, I don't think people realize what's going on. Look up how much money Texas and A&M have in their alumni, how much money is out there for the NLI. It's not going to stop with those 2 schools. I personally feel like there's always going to be somebody who is going to the crap that Travis Hunter did was too much considering he was going to transfer from Jackson State almost immediately. Yeah, he's not going to be there long. Notice he hasn't signed yet. He hasn't signed, at least last time I checked. But yeah. As far as players getting money or getting money from boosters or getting money from college or all that stuff, I'm going to 100% tell you I believe that goes on in a lot of colleges. I believe it's been going on for many years. I believe a lot of people know about it. I believe it's part of the sport. I just think it's one of those things where nobody says anything. I could be completely wrong. I don't have any facts one way or the other. And I'm not saying that this school did it or that school did it. I'm saying multiple schools have been caught giving money to players or boosters giving money to players over the years. I think that's part and parcel. I think you're going to see a lot of that. And I think some people get caught and some people don't. I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying at some point you have to realize that's the way it is. Texas is about to start buying these 5-star kids. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you got to look. Some of these kids don't come from, the top 1% of the pay scale. Some of these kids come from very humble beginnings. And somebody rolls up and they're like, here's a brand new truck if you go play for Westminster University. They're going to be like, I got to think about that. Or somebody rolls up and they're like, I'm going to take care of all your grandma's hospital bills. Like, I got to think about that. And so when you see a player that has an opportunity to play at an elite school, who is a 5-star player who is likely going to end up in a first-round draft at some point, and you see him go to like Jackson State, of course people are going to make assumptions on why he did that. Not saying he did it for any particular reason. Maybe he just felt like that was the best fit for him. But people are still going to make that assumption on him. It's just going to happen. At Big Dog Brett, Travis Hunter was seen at the signing ceremony shaking and hugging Ashton Kutcher after he signed with Jackson State. I don't know. Did Ashton Kutcher go to Jackson State? I have no idea, sir. There may be a reason behind it. I can't assume that that's why he did it. I heard Deion got Travis on a $2 million shoe contract. That's possible. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see here. If one of you guys on the Big Dog Brett channel, if you want to post a PayPal link again, feel free to do so. If I post it, it's going to go to all 3 channels, and I don't want to do that on Mark's channels. He can buy them all they want. If they can't develop them, it won't matter in the end. It's a bigger pot at the end of the tunnel being developed outside 2 or 3 years of NIL. That's true, too. These players are not going to turn down. Thanks, Bulldog JC. These players are not going to turn down an opportunity to take money. You're looking at some of these. I mean, look at it this way. Some of us are well over the 40 mark. And that being the case, I wouldn't know what to do if somebody walked up and said, hey, we're going to give you $2 million if you do X, Y, and Z. Go to school over here at Chattahoochee Technical College. And I'll be like, I'll be there tomorrow, bro. What time? It's 7 o'clock early enough? And think about that now. That's somebody who has a little bit of life experience, but you got an 18, 19-year-old kid, if they're throwing a $2 million NIL or NOI, whatever they want to call it, how's he going to turn that down if nobody else is offering him that kind of money? And here's the other thing. That kid doesn't know, and nobody knows, whether that kid's going to be a bust. Maybe he's going to get injured. Maybe he's going to blow his knee out. Maybe he'll get a concussion. Maybe he gets, a season or career-ending injury. Which one of us could say we would turn down $2 million to go to school for an NIL agreement? First of all, I don't understand why you want to give one of these kids $2 million. They don't know much about him other than they played a little bit of high school ball. By the way, Al Bundy played high school ball, and they didn't give him a $2 million NIL. But, yeah, if he can ball, he will ball no matter where he plays, and will get a chance in the NFL. That is true. That is true. I don't blame him at all. Go where you want to go. If the guy wants to go, let these kids get paid. I agree with you to a point, Daimir. But unfortunately, I think there has to be a cap, because I think it's one thing for it to be taboo and people doing it behind the scenes, and it's another thing to just be like, all right, we're gonna pay football players as much money as we can afford. Look at what has happened. Hey, what's up, Bruce? Ain't seen you in a hot minute, brother. Hey, for y'all who don't know, Bruce made this. This thing's huge. I gotta show this off. Hold on. This is one of the very first things I ever got. This thing, as you can see, it is not tiny. This thing is huge, man. And Bruce made it for me back in 2020, and it's been hanging on my wall ever since. It may be a little bit hard to see, but this is actually recessed. I mean, it's not a sticker. He actually carved this out. This whole thing, he carved it out. So much appreciated, Bruce. Much appreciated. That's one of my favorite pieces right there, man, for sure. Can't find my Texas A&M shirt in the merch link, otherwise I'd buy. you gotta be careful with some of that stuff, man, because they will hit you with all kind of copyright stuff. They'll sue you if you get stuff like that. Travis Hunter punked FSU. He punked Georgia too, man. What you talking about? You see him throw that Georgia hat on the ground? Get out of here with that stuff, man. What's going to happen is at some point he's going to end up playing one of those teams and he's going to get demolished. I would rather go to a school that can develop me into a possible high first round draft pick, maybe make less NIL, but in the end, that NFL contract or endorsements are a lot more than the NIL alone. I agree, but there is zero guarantee that you're going to make it to the NFL. There's zero guarantee that you're going to not get an injury. And you're also looking at it, and if I think I remember you, Todd. I think that there's a big difference between being 17 or 18 years old, looking at this kind of money that's being pushed in front of some of these kids, and then being a 40-year-old, 35-year-old, or even a 25-year-old looking at it. There's a big difference. That the amount of life that you learn about between 18 and 25 is probably as much as you learn between 30 and 45. If you are good, the NFL will find you no matter where you play. That is true. But you got that CNC machine, or he does that by hand with a router. He does that by hand. I know that he does that by hand. He actually he learns a lot of stuff about woodworking, and then he applies it, and he gives gifts and stuff to friends. That's really one of my favorite pieces. I do a lot of woodworking, and I can't do that. That's some exceptional work right there. These kids are all about instant gratification. There are kids that are all about instant gratification a lot of young people are, and we were too, if you're my age. It's just that in this day and age, if somebody's going to offer you that kind of money, you'd almost be foolish to turn it down, because you can still transfer. So take the money, and then if you want to, transfer somewhere else. Why wouldn't you? Yeah. So let me go. I want to jump back to the recruiting stuff for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and throw out the link here, in case Keith or D4 wants to jump in. If anybody has a question or they just want to talk about recruiting, we can do that too. One of the things I do want to talk about is some of the setup here that you see. That recruiting class for Alabama is really well balanced. I mean, it is really well balanced. They have an edge. It's just like they recruited a whole football team at one time. It's pretty incredible. An edge, a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, and 2 offensive tackle are the first 6 guys. And you got a linebacker, defensive lineman, edge, an athlete, a wide receiver, a running back, a cornerback, a wide receiver, 2 athletes, defensive lineman, tight end, another offensive tackle, and a safety. And you got 2 hard commits that are tight end and a defensive lineman. So that right there shows you how diverse the recruiting can be.
Hey, Big Dog, what's up?
What's going on, Keith? Hey, Cool Breeze. It says your devices are not connected, man. So if you get a mic there, we can get you back in. What's on your mind, Keith?
Very interesting. I was a little bummed out about the Kamari Wilson choosing Florida, but then again, you can't have all the 5 stars, I guess. So
yeah. Now somebody asked a quick question here. I want to answer. Somebody asked, what percentage of Georgia's roster is from Georgia? I got to be honest with you. I don't know about the whole roster, but about 50% of the recruits that we got were from the state of Georgia.
It really doesn't matter if they come from Georgia or not.
He didn't ask whether it mattered. He just asked what the number was.
Well, yeah, but if you care about those kind of numbers, it kind of leads to me assuming that you care about how many players we signed from the state of Georgia. Yeah. And while I like to see kids play for their home school and whatnot, it's just been a trend that people have been playing wherever
Well,
college football teams,
there's a if you're in one of these states, and I'm going to name the states. If you're in Georgia, if you're in Florida, you're in California, or you're in Texas, I think it's very important that you are able to garner talent inside of your state, because those four states traditionally have provided the majority of the top tier talent in the country. So I'm going to pull up something here real quick. Let me do this. Real quick. I'm just going to type in ESPN top 300 2022, right? And so this is going to give me all of the players in the top 300. And I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to start at the top. Walter Nolan, committed to Texas A&M from Tennessee. Then you got Georgia, Florida, Texas, California, Florida, Illinois, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Virginia, Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Texas, Florida, Texas, so forth and so on. So if you're in one of those states where you get the top tier talent, like if you have a player who's from IMG Academy and you're in Georgia, you need to be getting that player. There should be some type of what's going on, Royce. And by the way, I saw Jesse. Hey Jesse, I saw you in here earlier. Jesse Gore, appreciate it. We love you guys too, man. I hope to see you back soon. When you're talking about these particular places, if you're not securing that talent in state when it's the closest place to get to recruit talent, that says that there's a problem inside of your program. If you are a Florida team, you're the only SEC team in Florida, and you're not consistently getting 4 and 5 star players, top tier talent, that tells you there's a problem at that university. If you're a Texas program and you're not getting top tier talent out of the state of Texas, that should tell you there's a problem. So to me, when I see a high quality program like Georgia and they can go into Florida and get those kids who grew up in Florida, some of them being Florida fans, Florida Gator fans, and get them to commit to Georgia, that is another hurdle to overcome. But as far as saying, well, all of our guys come from Georgia, no, I don't agree with that. I think that, you can get good players from anywhere, but I also feel like you should be good enough at doing your job to prevent people from getting talent that's literally right under your nose.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say, but I was.
Oh no, don't worry about it, man. I mean, I run on sometimes. I just run on. But so far, I mean, you got Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia. If Georgia comes in third this season and we've got 5 stars that we pick up out of this, how can you really complain? It's difficult to complain about that. It's really difficult to complain. All right, real quick, guys, been here about 30 minutes. Go ahead and hit the like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, become a member. You can hit the PayPal link, any of that fun stuff. Go. This is also being simulcast on the on Georgia. On my channel, Big Dog Brett, and also on the Voice of College Football SEC channel and the Voice of College Football the Georgia channel. So feel free to go over there and sub to those channels. You can search for Mark Rogers on YouTube. Just type in the search bar Mark Rogers TV or Voice of College Football, and you should have no trouble finding him. Do that and subscribe to those channels. He provides great content, and he does multiple shows, usually a day. So then there's that. Rumors about Bout or Butte. I'm not sure how you say that guy's name. And Gibbs going to Bama too. Freaking all-star team next year. Yeah, Alabama's going to have a stacked team next year for sure. But how is that any different than any other year, right? Georgia could have a stacked team if we could just get a top-tier quarterback and let him play. Stetson has 4 years experience against elite defenses every day at practice. I think Stetson has been here since the Great Depression, sir. I'm not quite sure what you're getting at there, but yeah. So yeah, my daughter. All right. So, any big surprises for you, Keith, on where the recruiting is lined up so far? What's your thoughts on these teams so far?
Kind of interesting to see some of the SEC teams that have recruited really well in the past really not have that great of performance this recruiting cycle.
Who in particular?
Like an Auburn and stuff like that.
So Auburn this year, They have 18 recruits, and you got to understand, between losing a head coach and the new head coaches and all coming on, last year they were number 7. This year they were number 7. The year before that they were number 5. The year before that they were number 6. So I mean, this is pretty standard for them right now. I'm not really surprised at what we're seeing. I'm surprised they actually did as well as they did.
Where did they end up?
14th. They ended up 14th.
Okay.
I really thought they actually managed to hang on to quite a few 4-stars. I really thought they were going to lose some. The team that surprised me the most, honestly, was Missouri coming in at 12. They got a 5-star player, and that really helped them out. But they signed a pretty solid class. They got 16 so far. They could stand to get a few more 3-stars. But Missouri coming in at 12 above Tennessee was very surprising. Tennessee missed out on a 5-star, so that's kind of what hurt them. Oklahoma coming in at number 10. I really thought they would have been a little higher. I certainly thought they would have been ahead of North Carolina and Michigan. But, yeah.
I think Ole Miss is kind of a surprise.
Where did Ole Miss come in at? They came in pretty low, I thought.
Yeah.
Where were they at? Let me see. Oh, look who came in at 50th place. Florida Gators.
Florida Gators. Yeah.
Think about it. I want you guys to hear me out now. I want you guys to hear me out. Florida came in 50th. And they signed 1 5-star, 5 4-stars. And they came in behind Oregon, who signed nothing but 3 stars. They came in behind Colorado University, who signed nothing but 3 stars. They came in behind Illinois, which signed nothing but 3 stars. Oh, my goodness. They came in behind Vanderbilt, who signed nothing but 3 stars. They came in behind, oh, my goodness, Georgia Tech. They came in behind, who else is on this list? Virginia Tech. They came in behind West Virginia. They came in behind Oklahoma State. I mean, just tons of teams that they should not be coming in behind, especially as an SEC team. Vanderbilt, yes, Vanderbilt is at 37. Vanderbilt's at 37, but they signed 24 3-stars. So, yeah. LSU, where did LSU come in at? I will tell you here momentarily. LSU came in at 18th with 2 5-stars, 4 4-stars, and 7 3-stars. I mean, there's only a handful of teams that really went over the more than 23. Vanderbilt was one. Let's see, Vanderbilt was 24. I'm gonna go teams that signed 24 or up. Vanderbilt, Michigan, Penn State, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M. So that's the only teams that signed 24 or more, and most of them are 20 and less. By the way, hats off to North Carolina. They only signed 17, and they ended up in the 8th spot. Ohio State signed 18, ended up in the 4th spot. If they would have had another 4-star, another 5-star, or a few more 4-stars, or even more 3-stars, they would have just created an even bigger gap.
Yeah. I was gonna piggyback off the Florida thing. It's the Florida. You guys are it's just a train wreck.
Yeah. Hey, Bulldog JC, you got to fix that, dude. It's actually it's PayPal me, www.paypalme/Big Dog Brett. So that's a little bit incorrect, sir.
Yes.
What's scrolling across the banner right now at the bottom is what it is, www.paypalme/Big Dog Brett. We're going to be using the funds that we get today to bolster Christmas for the kiddos. So if you guys want to contribute to that fund, it's there. but it also provides additional content for you guys as well throughout the off season. So yeah, but that's what I'll be using it for. You were saying about Texas A&M?
I was talking about Florida.
Oh,
How
I'm sorry. I was talking about the top of the list when you were talking about the bottom. Go ahead.
oh, okay. I was just gonna piggyback off the Florida thing real quick.
Sure.
The Florida fans have brought this on themselves, without a
Oh, for
doubt.
sure.
You cannot you cannot have three different coaches stay at 3-year stints apiece. Billy Napier, he's only got 10 recruits to work with now. What are you gonna do? Fire Billy Napier after 3 years and try to find another coach? Like who's
So
at
go
that
ahead.
point who would want to take the job?
Well, I think that was a conversation that was had by Billy Napier. He was like, "Look, obviously the problem here is that you guys have had a problem keeping a coach around or having a." And by the way, this is beard balm for those of you who think I'm just rubbing my face or something. This is like beard balm. Um, for those of you who think that he didn't have that conversation, like, look, your program's in shambles. You haven't recruited. You went to the SEC championship. And now you basically the barely made the a bowl game, so to speak. In my opinion, barely made. Um, I'm a Dapper Dan, man. Dapper Dan. I don't like FOP. Um, when you're looking at what has to be done to that program, for him to come in as a head coach, say, look, I basically have to start recruiting all over again. I don't have a quality quarterback. I don't have any offensive line players or whatever it is that he feels is a discrepancy. He's like, you have to give me time to recruit my own people. You've got to give me 3 to 4 or 5 years to fix this program. And I really think that's what they did. I think Napier's a great coach. I think he can certainly do it. I think it's going to take him a while. But what I will tell you is that if Florida does not give him an opportunity to fix that program is going to turn into Tennessee. That's what's going to happen. They're going to turn into Tennessee. They're going to roll through coaches left and right. Program's going to be in shambles. And the next thing you know, they're going to be throwing mustard bottles in Gainesville.
I think it's going to be a little bit worse than that. I think it's going to be like FSU Willie Taggart situation.
It could be. It could be. It's definitely going to be some. It's definitely going to be some work though. You guys want to join the show and you have some questions about the want to talk about recruiting? Go ahead and hit the go ahead and hit the StreamYard link. Join the show. Be glad to talk about it.
I was glad that we got Marvin Jones Jr.
Yes. I was really hoping we would get more 5-star wide receivers, but we've got some talent, but I really was hoping for some more. I see Clemson slowly falling apart. Yes, but the question is now, can Dabo Swinney keep that program from falling completely apart? That's a real test. Alabama's Nick Saban has done a fine job of getting new offensive coordinators, new defensive coordinators, constantly swapping out assistant coaches and constantly having to deal with staff rotating in and out. And he still managed to keep that program successful. So that's a test that I really don't feel like Clemson. And this is going to be a real test for Dabo Swinney. Can he do it with a brand new offensive coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator? I don't know, but we're going to find out. So that'll be really interesting. If he doesn't, that program might just fall apart. Let's see. He might have built it, man, but the question is can he survive the struggles of it? Because I don't care how good of a head coach you are, you can't do it all by yourself. You can't do it all. Saban didn't even turn Bama around overnight. It took him several years, but once he got it, he got it. Have a question. Why did Georgia fans disrespect Alabama? You got to be a little clearer about your question, Shabby. I'll be happy to answer it. There you go. Yep, you got it right. You got it right, Bulldog, JC. You got to be a little clearer about your question, and then I'll be glad to have it. 2 years, Texas Rocks. Yeah. Sarah Crank says hit the like button. Thank you for that, Sarah. Royce said something up here, and I meant to read it.
I think
Here it is.
Royce was having some kind of procedure done and was going to.
Yeah, he's family. Had a procedure on his back earlier today. I'm going to go lay down, guys. Have a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. Same to you, Royce. Get better. Get well soon, sir. Love y'all down there. He's a Georgia fan. Lives in Florida. What is the link for? The PayPal link is if you want to support the channel through PayPal. Some people choose to support it through PayPal rather than Super Chat. Super Chat, YouTube takes about half of
50%.
that. Yeah, they
Yep.
take about half of it. So, for instance, if you wanted, let's say that you wanted to donate $20 to me, I would actually get more money if you donated 15 to PayPal. You would save money, and I would get more money. So it works out better for everybody. Goat Saban is just picking who he wants and recruiting and the portal. Pretty much. Ram
Well,
dog.
that's the you have that privilege whenever you win 7 or 8 national titles.
6. He's won 6.
At this point, I've almost stopped counting.
Well, I can promise you, Alabama fans haven't.
Oh well, Alabama fans count titles that they haven't even won. So
Well, if Georgia did that, I mean, I'm sure we would have 6 or 7. Okay, K-Bar. K-Bar says, Big Dog Brett, USC fan here. I get a question. Okay, what's your question, sir? Alabama's on another level. My point was the SEC is 3 teams just like the Big Ten.
And which USC are we talking about? We're talking West Coast or East Coast?
I'm waiting on K-Bar's question. As far as the 3 teams in the SEC, what 3 teams are you going to say? Are you going to say? I'm sure you're going to say Alabama, and I'm sure you're going to say Georgia. So that's 2. I'm trying to figure out which third team you're talking about. Are you going to say Ole Miss? Are you going to say Texas A&M? Are you going to say LSU? Which team are you going to talk about? Because it could be 5. I'm bringing D4. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, did you find those keys I sent you?
No.
You didn't get them?
No.
Well, that would explain why you haven't delivered them yet. You were supposed to take those keys over to Athens so that they could free JT.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. K-Bar's
can...
questions in, Big Dog. I'm sorry, D4.
Oh, you're good, man.
How does Bama and Georgia keep getting dominant recruits the way they do? I'm from LA. Well, if you're from, are you saying LA like Louisiana or LA like Los Angeles?
Los Angeles, because he said he was a USC fan. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I would say. If you've never, he's from South Central LA. My family all went to USC year in and year out. I see these kids fighting to go to Bama and Georgia. Is it just the region? Is it just the region? No. What I would say is if you ever come to the South, you'll understand.
It's just different.
It is when I say it is different, football is basically a religion here. I mean, my wife made this wreath. Okay. We make paintings. I mean, it just, when I say it means more, I know people love college football all over the country. I'm not discrediting that. College football is a great sport. I love what it does. It brings people together. It creates tons of revenue and tons of opportunity for people all around the country. And some of these kids get to live their dream playing the NFL. I love college football. But in the South, football is a religion. They will shut down towns for high school football games. They will have parades for high school football games. It is absolutely the most imperative thing in the South. Like, for instance, in the South, if you know somebody like me, somewhere around July, you'll get a text or an email or a Facebook post that will read something along these lines. Here's your warning that for every Saturday from now until end of December, January, I'm booked on Saturdays. Don't call me to help you move. Don't invite me to your kid's birthday party. Don't invite me to your wedding. If you died, I'll come to your funeral before or after the game. That's how much college football means in the South. And when these kids come here and they see how serious all these other people take college football, and they basically hold these kids on a pedestal and it's like, look, this is if you love football, this is the promised land. And that's why they want to come here. The facilities are top notch. People around them heap praise on them. And if you've ever been to a Georgia game, or you've ever been to an Alabama game, or a Tennessee game, or even a Gamecocks game, and everybody has their own version of calling the dogs. Yeah, we'll have 100,000 people at a spring game, not uncommon. And you'll hear they're calling the dogs, and one side is going Georgia, and the other side's going Bulldogs, or they're going Carolina Gamecocks. I mean, when that's going on, it is absolutely electric, and you can't escape that feeling. It's addictive. UJ's defense is better this year. I believe UJ is better this year. Are we talking games already? Run the damn ball.
Run the ball.
Run the damn ball.
I don't know what you meant, Z Goner, but thanks for the compliment, I guess.
I love this is so random, and I gotta highlight this just because it's awesome. Jabba the Hutt was handsome.
I was thinking this Keith Shelley. I don't know whether this is going to be a compliment or whether you take it like a slap in the face, but he reminds me of Chess Hall so much.
Well, some of the decor kind of falls into play. We got to get you some new backdrop stuff, but his conversation is infinitely better.
No, infinitely. No, he's better being here. I'm just saying, like his style is like
for sure.
I guess so. Here. I'm just a big man.
I'm a big man.
But I tell you what, the girls loved me in high school, so.
Well, I guess all that matters.
No, though I was a guy and I was just a player, so I didn't do much, if anything, in high school. I was real grounded.
I'm fixing to set off a chain reaction. You guys go on. Go here without me.
To chain reaction. Oh no.
Yeah, this is my brother was supposed to do something. He didn't do it, so I'm sending him a message via family group chat. So everybody in the family's fixing to get this at the same time.
I got a question for the chat. What one player did you want to see your team sign this afternoon but did not?
Armani Winfield. He went to Baylor instead of Texas.
Well, can you blame the kid?
Shut up. All he's gonna do is sit there and block on the edge.
Well, I mean,
that's all they do is run the ball.
Maybe he just doesn't like SEC teams. I don't know. So DSA1 says, do y'all think Georgia will go undefeated next year? I don't ever pick a team to go undefeated, so I can't say yes on that.
I think there's a possibility, but they have to go through Oregon. And Oregon next year will have Dan Lanning, and we'll have the secret sauce recipe.
Somebody brought it up. I was waiting for somebody to bring it up. So, just so you know, I'm one of those weirdos that whenever I'm driving around, I'm listening to what the players say, because the players will make mistakes. The players will tell you really what's going on if you pay attention. So, in one of Georgia's press conferences, Lewis Seen was specifically asked how he felt about Dan Lanning going to Oregon. And he said, we really appreciate all the hard work you did. He's a great coach and he's really invested, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, hey, by the way, when it's not just Dan Lanning that gets up there and gives us information. It is, one coach would get up and talk about this, and then Muschamp will get up and talk about this, and the other coach will get up and talk about this, and then Kirby will get up and talk about this. I've been saying this all year. I said, this is not Dan Lanning's defense. This is a combination of Dan Lanning, Will Muschamp, and Kirby Smart's defense. And that's what we just found out. So Dan Lanning is going out to Oregon to be a head coach. And I don't know how much help he's going to get. Because, I mean, yeah. Dimir says, no, Brett, don't do that now. I don't know what he's talking about. Are you talking about put on chapstick? My lips are chapped. I've been outside in the wind today. Losing my voice on top of that. So let's see here. So out of the teams that we didn't get what we wanted, what player did you get that you were really happy to see was in your current recruiting class? Didn't have to sign today, but the one that you're most excited about in your class right now.
Quinn Ewers. I think he could be a game changer at quarterback, especially in Sark's system. I know he was out of the portal, but all the same. And the offensive tackle we got, yeah, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Are you talking about Kelvin?
Yeah, Kelvin.
Kelvin Banks.
Kelvin Banks.
Yeah, that guy's a beast.
Listen, all these guys hooping and hollering over Walter Nolan going to Texas A&M. I watched him play a lot this year. He's from 45 minutes up the road. He's lazy.
You want me to tell you who I'm excited you guys got?
Who's that?
Jadon Blue, the running back.
Running back, yeah. Yeah,
I think that guy's underrated. I think that guy's easily a 5-star. Easily a 5-star. He's 5'11", 205 pounds, and is like he just runs through walls. It's incredible watching play. What's going on, Trenton?
Yeah, I agree. Texas Roads, Kelvin Banks, definitely more. Especially if we can bring in the other offensive tackle, which is going to be even better than Banks, I believe. But he's waiting on his signing
bonus.
Yeah, waiting on the checks to clear.
Right.
But I think we got a real good steal out of I think it's the Burks kid out of Westlake. He's only a 3-star, but I'm excited about him.
So Shane Elliott says he really likes the running back that we got that looks like Chubb. So that guy's name is Branson
Robinson. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Scary is the word that comes to mind when you see this kid.
Learn the name. You'll be hearing it a lot.
Yeah, learn this name because this guy's a monster. I'm gonna share a screen here real quick.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who's that?
Doug Martin. If you remember him from Boise State and played for the Buccaneers, he was a little muscle hamster. They called him the muscle hamster.
What a weird name. So if you guys can see this, that's Branson Robinson. That is a high school kid.
That's ridiculous.
It's easy to get distracted by his arms, right? Look at this dude's legs.
Imagine hitting the tree trunks.
This guy has never missed leg day since he was 2. When back many years ago when I was in the military, and there were guys that would work out on a consistent basis, and they had nothing to do except military duties and then go to the gym, and they couldn't get ripped like this. This guy is a genetic anomaly. Absolutely incredible. And this is before he gets to a Georgia campus where they really start, turning him up.
This guy eats protein powder for breakfast.
This guy is protein powder. Look at him. This guy's beard hair has more muscle than my whole body. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. That is incredible.
But if you were to ask me what the biggest takeaway from this recruiting cycle was, that Georgia's defensive back room just got very interesting.
Yeah. Georgia signed a gentleman by the name of Jaheim Singletary out of Jacksonville, Florida. Florida Gators can't get him. Guy is 6'2", 170 pounds, 5-star candidate, and is probably in the top 25 highest recruits Georgia's ever had. By the way, Malik Starks, 6'1", 200 pounds, number 1 in position, number 2 in the state, number 14 nationally.
Malachi Starks,
man, is the 18th highest rated player Georgia has ever recruited.
I interviewed, it was a short interview, but your running back, Jordan James, out of Oakland High School.
Oh, nice.
And he's a pretty good kid, man. I watched him play in person. Definitely got the quickness and the strength to make an SEC.
Oh, for sure. A lot of talent. A lot of talent there. Now, let me go back to the Georgia commit line here. Did you say you'll be right back?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I almost muted you unnecessarily. So here's what's interesting. Like nobody's really talking about Gunnar Stockton, which is crazy. Gunnar Stockton, an absolutely elite talent. And it's like, we don't really talk about it that much. Got Brock Vandagriff. If you saw what Gunnar Stockton did this year, so let's talk about Gunnar Stockton. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm just going to type in Gunnar Stockton stats. So Max Preps, which they do a ton of stuff for college football, right? Senior this year. This is his stats this year. He's thrown the ball 331 times. He's made 236 completions for a 71% completion percentage. Averages 17.5 yards. Averages 318 yards per game. Has 55 touchdowns all season. 55 touchdowns all season. 4,134 yards. How many interceptions do you think he has?
2.
1.
Dang.
1. And don't tell me he's not throwing the ball.
I watched Gunnar Stockton play on television, on the internet. They were streaming on the internet. They're playing against one of the hometown teams for me, and he's tough. He got busted up, bloody nose, everything, and was still playing. Like,
well, hold on, because I'm not done. Are you ready for this? In his sophomore year, he ran for 1,100 plus yards. In his junior year, he ran for 1,581 yards and 26 touchdowns and passed for 3,100 yards. This season, he was 44 yards short of 1,000 yards, averaged 7 yards a carry, longest run was 43 yards, has 15 touchdowns, and still threw for 4,100 yards and 1 interception. And he's only fumbled the ball once as a freshman. But he's a 4-star. What do you need to be a 5-star? Somebody help me out.
You need to go to all the camps.
Right?
All the camps.
SBH Huntsville says, Brett Bama fan here. Saw your channel come across my feed. Love anything signing day. Just dropped in to see what you're talking about. Do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to call you Huntsville just because it's easier. Subscribe to the channel, Huntsville. We talk about college football all the time. This is a great community. A lot of the people that are on here are outstanding people. Great community. Not a lot of drama, not a lot of foul language and that sort of thing. Just a really good community group of people. Subscribe to the channel. You won't be sorry. You'll thank me later. He ran less to protect his future. This is an accurate statement. This is the coaches told him, you don't need to run that much. And he ran, look at this. He ran for just about, I'll say 3/4 of what he ran his junior year. He was like, hey, you don't have to run it so much. Just throw it a little more. And he did. So, and his lowest, his total varsity average over 4 years is 69%. 69%. Insane. Matter of fact, can we put him in to play against Alabama? Because he's probably better than Stetson.
He's going to be holding the clipboard for whatever water boy y'all start next year.
No, be quiet. You hurt my head. Just be quiet. Killing me. Best channel on YouTube, Pastor Dave. I appreciate that, sir. I really do. Nice. Hold on. Somebody said nice, but high school stats are pretty meaningless. Inaccurate, sir. High school stats matter.
They all playing against each other.
That's probably one of the dumbest comments. I'm sorry, D4 Sports, because you just heard Big Dog Brett 5,000 yards plus his senior season, and 4 5,000 yard seasons prior to his high school. I mean, prior to his senior season.
Well,
those aren't cupcake numbers.
No. So let me throw a crazy stat at you guys. Even in high school, especially in high school, where a lot of teams struggle to sustain drives. A lot of teams struggle not to have stupid penalties. A lot of teams struggle just to get formations right. You're talking about a player who I won't say single-handedly, but I'll say nearly single-handedly is responsible for more yardage just by himself than most football teams put up in a year. The entire team. He's doing that pretty much by himself. So,
and on top of that, he broke more records than anybody, and those records were held by Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. You can pretty much name a Georgia quarterback that has been good in the state of Georgia, and he probably broke one of their records.
Right.
Stetson Bennett.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and this is what I like to point out to people. If the number was not that impressive, then everybody would be putting up these numbers. If these numbers are just average, then that would be the norm. Everybody would be putting up 4,000 yards in passing every season.
And let's face it. Depending on the region you play. Okay, let's say the hometown high school I live in. We had a kid win back-to-back Mr. Footballs, everything like that. His team is probably beating other teams so bad that he's only playing a half of a football game.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to show you too, he's not even probably really playing, to win a state championship. I don't know if he won a state championship, but
he didn't. Unfortunate.
Okay, so if you're playing only a half or 3/4 here, 2/4 there, or whatever, you're not even playing full games.
Well, here's what I'll point out for you. Gunnar Stockton threw for 4,100 yards. Okay. There's only 3 other quarterbacks in the entire state of Georgia that passed for more than 4,000. There's only 2 others. There's 3 total. Only 2 others that passed for more than 4,000. Only one that passed for more than him. And then the numbers changed dramatically. There's only 11 quarterbacks across the entire state of Georgia. Think about how many high schools there are in Georgia that have quarterbacks. There's only 11 others that pass for more than 3,000. He's more than 1,000 yards above those guys. You know? So when you say, yeah, but nah, well, it matters. It really matters. So if we go back to 2020, Brock Vandergriff threw for about the same. Let's go back to 2019. I mean, there are quarterbacks in high school that have done extremely well, but you gotta look at the competition. You gotta look at who you're throwing against, what you're throwing against. Just crazy. Just crazy. Kirby's visor. I love that name. If conservative Kirby can't get the quarterback situation fixed and evolve his offensive philosophy to the modern era by preparing the quarterbacks with the highest ceiling, then that's gonna be his downfall. Yes, I agree. I already closed out the page. Let me see here if I can find it real quick. Are you asking me which quarterbacks, David Dallas and Aaron Philo are the only two to throw over 4,000? And I'm not going to name off all the 3,000 ones. There's 11 of them. But yeah. And I apologize if I missed some of you guys' comments. It's hard to keep up with everybody. There's 100+ people in here, man. El Duderino Lebowski says, gig 'em. What's up, Alex MLD? I thought Alex used to be a member.
Oh man, did he say gig 'em really?
He did.
They have a good recruiting class and almost, do nothing with it, and here they come.
Willow says, somebody, I don't have you blocked. Maybe somebody else does, but I don't have you blocked, sir. It's just hard to get to everybody. What's up, Mike Taylor? You know, Hope never been a friend of the dogs. Ain't that a fact? I can't stand that girl. Can't stand Hope. So speaking of which, since we've got D4 Sports on here as an interstate bystander, I'm going to ask him, what do you think happened during the Georgia-Alabama game?
I think Alabama came out. I think he got out coached. Plain and simple. I think Saban and staff exposed the weaknesses that they've seen. I don't know why you guys ran that. One thing I noticed after going back and watching the game, because I was at a father-daughter dance during the game, but best believe every guy in there was looking down at their phone.
Well, I can tell you that it was bad. I think one of the reasons that Alabama did so poorly against Auburn is because they weren't practicing for Auburn; they were practicing for Georgia.
That's definitely a possibility, and I don't know why y'all run the same double A gap blitz all night long when it wasn't working.
Well, we had a couple of things that were working that we stopped doing for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, but like I think I counted like 15, 16 double A gap blitzes.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad,
and like none of them were getting there.
Well, the thing that was blowing my mind was that we were anywhere from 7 to 15 yards cushion on Mechie and 7 to 15 yards cushion on Williams. It's like, what are you doing?
Hey, let me tell you something, and I'm sorry, Big Dog, for cutting you off there a little bit.
You're good.
But let me tell you, me and TikTok Chess Hall could have gotten first downs. That's how big of a gap Georgia was giving Mechie and Jamison Williams.
Yeah, I don't understand the philosophy behind what they were doing. I'm sure they thought they had a reason, but I got to be honest with you. Whatever that was, the first couple of times you did it, it didn't work. Why are you continuing to do it? Because it clearly wasn't working.
It's like they had a game plan and they wouldn't go away from it.
Yeah, it was like they got too wrapped up in the game plan. And to me, whenever people, here's one of the things that I'm going to say, and it's going to be unpopular, but unfortunately, it is the way it is, and I have to call it like I see it. And if that upsets some people, it upsets some people. But I'm entitled to my opinion, just like you're entitled to yours. Stetson Bennett did not perform as poorly in that game as I initially critiqued him as. However, he didn't perform well enough to be the starting quarterback for the number 2 team in the country, or the number 1 team in the country at the time, however you want to look at it. A real quarterback should be a Heisman Trophy candidate in today's day and age.
Mm-hmm.
A real quarterback should be able to put the team on his back and go win the game. That is not what he did. There was a pass that he made downfield when he scrambled that he clearly, in my opinion, would have gotten it. If not gotten, he would have gotten close to a first down. But he throws a wobbly pass for no reason. And while Richie Hamilton is correct, Stetson don't play defense. You're right. However, when you throw a pick six, that's a problem. When you are throwing passes,
that momentum, everything,
that is
the game
extremely detrimental to you.
Well, let me also say, and I'm sorry about this again, but the defense there stopped Alabama 3 drives in a row, and every single time it was a 3 and out, a 4 and out, 4th down, punt the ball, or Stetson threw an interception.
Yeah.
And the quarterbacks who win championships have the ability to clutch out games. They have ice in their veins. They go and they make the game-winning plays, the plays that matter. And Stetson just didn't do it.
So I completely agree. I also feel like that while he doesn't play defense, he has to be the one to sustain the drive. He's been at Georgia for 3 or 4 years now. He should understand how to play a quarterback position well enough to sustain a drive. And he wasn't doing that. A 3-year player who has played in as many games as he has, who is the starter in the SEC championship game, should be able to perform better. Hold on. Let's see here. Wayne, Big Dog Brett, and Uncle Lou are friends. What did Wayne say that I missed? New on here, did this channel have any affiliation with that Uncle Lou dude? Me, Uncle Lou, Between the Trenches, D4 Sports, BVD, Jesse J, VicTube. We all know each other. We're all running the same circles. We all talk to one another. We've all had lunch together at some point. We were all at the Sob Olympics, I believe. So we all kind of know each other. I mean, the college football, especially SEC. You're gonna say that for me, D4? SEC.
I'll say it once.
There you go. Get used to it.
We're gonna have to teach you and learn you some SEC stuff since you're gonna be here.
2018 Sugar Bowl. 2018 Sugar Bowl.
Richie Hamilton says you and Uncle Lou ain't nothing alike. There are some things we're very much alike on, and he has his own style and I have my own style. I like Lou's content. I watch Lou's content. A lot of his subscribers are my subscribers and vice versa. Lou is kind of the reason I started making YouTube videos. But as far as I guess would say how we play along with the crowd, we are a little different. But there's nothing wrong with what he does and nothing wrong with what I do.
Uncle Lou, he definitely plays to the role of the fanatic, and people see that and they go, yeah, I'm the same way when my team messes up.
Some people, in my opinion, they take Lou way too seriously. Lou is actually incredibly funny. But you have to get his sense of humor to see it.
And the more it bothers you, the more he's gonna do.
Absolutely. Yeah. The more that you try to the more fired up that you get watching Uncle Lou, the more he likes it. And he's witty. Guy is super witty. He's quick with a comeback. So yeah. No cussing on your channel. Let my grandson watch you, Big Dog. Well, I appreciate that, sir. I always enjoy the younger crowd joining in. I try to keep it clean, just because you know, if my, and I kind of tailor it this way. If my grandma was watching, I might get away with dropping the D word here and there, but I try to keep it above the belt as much as I can. UJ offense is not set up to go 4 wide man. You guys are a play action offense. 80% of the routes ran by Georgia were intermediate, minus your tight end. That's because our quarterback has great difficulty in throwing the ball more than 15 feet. So that kind of limits to how far you can throw it. Sarah Crane says exactly, but Uncle Lou will admit when he's wrong. Will I not? Do I not admit when I'm wrong? Is that what you're saying, Sarah? You're right. I won't admit when I'm wrong. I'll come up with some other reason. But as far as I even forgot what we were talking about. I got sidetracked and went to say it and then just got
you were at Stetson Bennett not being able to throw more than 15
feet. Stetson Bennett. I remember what I was going to talk about. Somebody earlier said that, you know, it wouldn't make sense to put JT Daniels in. Why not? Every time we have put Stetson Bennett in against Alabama, they have eaten him alive. They know he can't throw. Honestly, and I hate to say it this way, but I would rather lose with JT Daniels by 20 points than I had lose by 7 with Stetson Bennett. At least I lost knowing that we put every card on the table. We tried every avenue. We did everything rather than just put in the same guy that we know is going to fail again. If you're going to talk smack, you got to be able to eat crow. I eat my crow. I do. Put a little salt on it, a little Cajun seasoning, spice it up.
Throw it in the deep fryer sometimes.
Throw it in the deep fryer. That's a juicy bird. Y'all remember the Alabama LSU game 6-3? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I say put that same. A lot of people agree with me. A lot of people are fully behind Stetson Bennett, and that's fine. But, yeah. Oh, I remember what we were talking about. We were talking about that Stetson Bennett doesn't play on defense. Listen, Stetson Bennett may not play on defense, but when you're making the mistakes that he was making, you're forcing the defense to be on the field. And when you're playing against an elite offense or an elite team like Alabama, you're not going to be able to hold those guys to 3 and out every snap of the ball. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm not upset about anything, Delane. I'm one of those people that I was just ready to see JT hit the field again.
DSA 1 Pickens, though, he will be 100%, if not very close to it.
I think Pickens was 100% in the SEC championship game. If not, why did we play him at all? It wasn't a distraction, you know, so why even play him? Did you play him just to say he played in the SEC championship game? Because that seems a bit silly.
I agree with you, Big Dog, but we just kind of stopped using him after that one huge 37-yard, 47-yard pass that we threw to him that one time.
Sarah Crane said, no, Big Dog Brett. Uncle Lou used to offend me. Then I watch enough to see his other side. You, sir, do not offend me. Well, that's good. That's good. Can't wait to see Gunnar and Vandergrift go at each other for the starting QB position. Me too. Crow with a little sugar. Yeah, sugar in my sweet tea. Pastor Dave says JT needs to be the quarterback. And that's one of the things that's really kind of put Kirby Smart under a microscope again is so many fans believe JT Daniels should be starting. So we'll see what happens.
I think Davin Bellamy after the game said, why not start JT? And then the wide receivers, according to Uncle Lou, I didn't see it personally, but they were like, free JT or something like that, you know.
Yeah, there was a couple of apparently there was a couple of Georgia players that want to have JT Daniels as a starting quarterback, and you can understand why. Lou is pretty cool. He can occasionally push it a bit, but he is fair and honest. I mean, the thing that I like about Lou and the thing that you get from Lou is that there's definitely some showmanship that he's very good at. It's very creative. But he also calls it like he sees it. And if he thinks that, and he's a Georgia fan through and through, just like I am. But he's also one of those guys that's like, dude, what in the world is, Georgia did a terrible job today. Georgia's falling on their face. Georgia's kicking themselves in the balls. Like, he'll call it. And so will I. He's a lot more animated than I am when it comes to that stuff. But, I mean, it's great content. It really is. JT Daniels, Christ gives Georgia a better chance of winning than Stetson. I agree, because we already know Stetson can't win it. So, yeah. I still have a 38-year-old Coke Pop up in my playlist from Uncle Lou. Do you mean one of these? Yeah, I got one. The first one of these I had, my grandmother, I got from her when she passed away. And I had it on the mantelpiece in the living room. And the cat we had knocked it off the mantle and broke it on the hearth. I was pretty upset about it. And then one day I was out working and I had to drop something off to a lady. And, I know you drank it. I saw it. Yeah, I'm not drinking this. And she had one on her front porch. And she goes, "Hey, are you a Georgia fan?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm a Georgia fan." She goes, "Well, would you like this?" And I was like, "You know what? I really would." And so, yeah, I got it. I was always really excited about that. Yeah. So that particular season, 1980, we had 3 shutouts. It was against Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, and Kentucky. But I guess the only reason we won an Natty that year is because we didn't have to play Alabama. That's a 40-year-old Coke, man. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, guys, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share. I really appreciate you guys being here. Also, go over and subscribe to Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football on the Georgia channel, and the voice of college football on the SEC channel he has over there. He does great content. He makes a video almost every single day. I'm pretty sure he goes live every day as well. But if you want to get caught up on all the teams in college football, go check out Mark Rogers TV. Great amount of content over there. Very in-depth stuff, too. Rusty Phillips says, "I have 2 bottles myself. I probably only need the one. I have enough Georgia paraphernalia. I got quite a bit of stuff. I always want more. Pretty soon it will be the Georgia Santa Claus hat will be coming on here pretty soon. Let's see here. Real quick. PayPal links up if you guys want to use it. Yeah, you guys can support the channel by hitting the super chat button, or you can subscribe to the channel. Also become a member. You can support us in the off season. It's one of the things that keeps the channel going. Without you guys' help, we wouldn't be here. Is you guys watching the videos that make it what it is. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you, Sarah. I absolutely believe you there. Mark Rogers is too square for me, bro. I think he has really in-depth knowledge. I think he does a really good job over there. He's been in broadcasting for years, man. He's really good. UGA should be a contender every year. It's a great program and a hotbed of in a hotbed that I respect a lot. Remember, I'm Clemson. I appreciate that, sir. Michigan is a 12 personnel team. You guys shouldn't have any problem with them. We'll see.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump up out of here. I got some stuff I got to do before another show tonight. Or I appreciate you having me on, buddy.
All right, man. I just have one question for you.
There
we go.
Oh no.
I like him. He's just give me a little love right there. A little love tap. D4 Sports, good guy. You guys go check out his channel. He's good people. Do you have a channel, Keith?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Well, tighten up, man. Tighten up. Get you one. The irony that you're wearing a Coca-Cola shirt and that comes up. It's pretty funny. Georgia has 1980, but Aggie has 1939. That's hilarious. T Money says, "Bro, I really enjoyed the live stream this evening." I appreciate that, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down though. Here we're running about an hour and a half. We'll be making a video coming up about the Georgia-Michigan game. We're gonna go through some predictions, some bowl game stuff, give you guys some ideas on how all that's gonna work. But so much, really appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to all the channels. You guys are awesome. You got anything you want to add, Keith, before we shut her down?
Not really. Yeah.
All right.
Just thanks for having me on, Big Dog.
Oh, anytime, man. So just hang tight 1 second. You guys have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.